Welcome, everyone, to the Thank You for Playing podcast. I'm Lambo, and I'm joined today by my charming co-hosts, Toro and BLJ. What's up,
That
fellas?
be me.
Yeah.
I be him.
Yeah. In the building.
Yeah, for sure. How's it going, everybody? I hope this wonderful day or night, depending on when you listen, hopefully it finds you well. And hopefully you got your virtual chair pulled up and ready to kick back with us for a bit.
And
what we got
snacks
going today?
Oh, man. We got some gaming news to cover, but I know you told me something interesting that I'm eager to get your lowdown about.
Oh, is that
but
right?
I know BLJ's got his question of the week ready.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What you got for us, BLJ?
So, question for you young men. If you guys were in an open world game,
us.
if you guys were in an open world game and you were a side character, like a side quest character, what would your side quest be?
First off, I just want to ask, do you go to sleep and dream these questions up and you write them down as soon as you wake up? Like, hell, you be getting these questions, bro. Interesting question.
He's got a little notebook next to his bed. Oh, I gotta write that down.
Yeah,
You know,
something.
I think them up, and then I tell myself I should write these down so I don't forget. And like today, I actually have like 3 or 4 of them, but as we've been like preparing for this episode, I kind of forgot them, and I was like, "Oh no, wait, I remember this one. Stick to this one. That way, when we start recording, I can say that one." You know what I mean? So I should write them down, but I don't. But I always feel like I want to ask questions that when you answer them, you know, it kind of give the audience a little bit more, you know, way to get to know you, you know, through these answers that you provide. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Man, it's a good question too, because I'm really trying to think through this and try to figure out.
I was going to ask you, did you want to take it first?
Bit.
But I'll go ahead and go. So
why don't we let BLJ answer first this time? He never answers the question first.
Oh, okay. I'm about to jump in.
You know,
I'm gonna flip the script on him.
You know, turned it up on your boy. All right, so if I was a side quest character, I feel like what I would do, I would want to have a role in a game that seems very pointless, but if you follow my BS, you actually get something cool in return, you know? So I would want to be a character that, well, you know, in an open world, it depends on the open world. I don't know what type of game I would be in, but let's just say you find my little avatar or my little dude just doing whatever he's doing, and I look like some random, but I got a question mark over my head, and then you approach me. I would want to be a character that tells you like long stories that I think are funny, but you as the gamer think they're not funny. You know, so you're like, man, like, what is this guy talking about? Like, he's not sending me on any fetch quests. He's not asking me to retrieve parts. He's just speaking. Like, what's the point of him being here? And then, you know, the gamer finishes the whole game, right? And then when they finish the game, they go on YouTube or whatever, and they look up, oh man, how did they get these cool outfits? How did they get these cool weapons? What? You can do this? They got these perks? They only didn't find out about these because the 5 or 6 different stories that you had to meet up with me to hear, you didn't listen through all of them. In the very last story, I just basically tell you, like, hey man, go here, search here, press this button combination, and then you will have these perks, you know? And then that's what I would want, you know? So it'd be kind of like an annoying thing, but if you're patient with me, it would lead you to the most amazing things.
Kind of like a Mr. Miyagi-esque kind of thing where it's like all these tasks seem really small and menial, but at the end it really means something.
And then I would want to have like weird phrases like say you come up to me and then your character asks me something like, hey, how do I do this? And I say something like, well, you should never put Doritos in peanut butter. Just something random.
Something to throw the game off guard. Something they'll remember you by.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's legit.
I'm saying this should be annoying, but if I'm saying stuff like that, I might be the most memorable character.
Yep.
But that's what I would want. I would want a series of just you listening to me. You know, kind of like if you guys play the last God of War, do you remember when you get this guy's head? I forget his name, but you walk around and you have this guy head on your hip and he always talks and gives you stories. Did you guys play through the game?
I didn't play through the game. Probably a bit later on. I just started playing it. I was going to get into that later, but I watched my brother play, and I know the guy that you speak of.
Yeah, so I want something like
I
that.
didn't get that far.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want you to rip my head off, but I would just have stories for you. I would have like some weird phrases and sayings in there, and it might even make you want to like look up stuff. Like, man, he said don't put potato chips in the peanut butter. What? You know? But yeah, that's what I would want. I would want you to follow my BS until it leads you to somewhere amazing. And if you're, you know, really willing to stick it out with me, it would lead you to something amazing. So that's what I would want it to be. No fetch quests, no nothing. You won't even get experience points. All you got to do is just listen to me tell you whatever, you know? So that's what I would be.
That's legit.
That's pretty legit.
That's a good, elaborate explanation. Lambo, did you
Mm-hmm.
figure out what quest you was going to do, or?
I've kind of got an idea. Yeah, I think I'm gonna flip the script on you again and go a little bit of the opposite direction. Like, I would want to be a character that has a long series of side quests as well, but they seem really important, and would take the player some time to complete. Maybe sending them, like maybe being a merchant that has a side quest where you send the player out to do some stuff that sabotages other merchants in the city. Maybe even all of the merchants in the city, and just kind of pissing them off. And at the end of it, the last quest, sending the player out to retrieve a very special, priceless, valuable trinket for me. And if they come back and bring it to me, I'll reward them handsomely. When they bring it back, it'd be something stupid, just like a little wooden figurine or something that really makes no sense, but it's something sentimental to my character. And then just give them like 50 gold or whatever, just some kind of menial amount of money. And, you know, give it to them in a bag and tell them not, you know, don't look in it until they leave. And then once they walk out of the shop, like the whole shop and my character just disappear as if it was never there. So they've pissed off all the merchants in the town, and my shop no longer exists, so they don't have anywhere to shop anymore.
Oh man, that's pretty toxic. But they'll remember that. That'll be a one and done. You won't get much interaction in New Game Plus. But that's a cool side quest to get an
by
achievement.
then the joke will have been told.
Gotcha.
And you know me, I like to mess with people a little bit. And we're talking about an open world game, so they could go to another city and deal with other merchants. They wouldn't be able to deal with any merchants in that city afterwards, and it would have been for nothing. They wouldn't get anything out of it other than pissed off merchants.
Well,
I think that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess that leaves my side quest. So Lambo did flip the script. Usually I can't remember a question of the week where I go last, but I've had some time to think about it.
Save the best for last.
Oh man, got me blushing over here. But you got me. I want to be unique and say, I know, right? I want to be unique and say that I want to have a side quest, but my character, they only appear in New Game Plus. Like, I want it to be hidden. Like, you playing through the game, like at the first playthrough, my character's there, and I want him to be like a weak, scrawny looking dude. It's like, hey, can you help me get this moonflower? I really need it. You know, something like that. It's like at the very beginning of the game, some offset voice like that. I had some reward awaits you if you can help me. You know, something like that. And it's at the very beginning of the game. You know how a lot of games have like a starting area and once you leave the starting
Yeah.
area, you can't go back. Some
Yeah.
games you can come back and visit, but there are some games where you're on a beginner's area and you can't come back once you leave. This guy, the character that I am, is on that beginner's island, and he has this look of determination in his eyes, and he's like a pipsqueak, and he's asking you to help him get this special flower. And yes, I just made this quest up in my head while y'all were talking, but it's going to be very elaborated. I don't know where I got this quest from, but first playthrough, you can't help him, and it's a little trolly because players are going to try to figure out, well, how do I get this flower? Like, even I can't get it.
Mm.
So you go through the game, you'll talk to another NPC saying that passage to that island is blocked, and then they'll give you a hint, like perhaps in another timeline you can go. You know what I mean? Hinting at New Game Plus. So let's fast forward to New Game Plus.
Perhaps another time.
Yeah. So let's fast forward to New Game Plus, and then the side quest guy, I need help getting this flower. Whatever. And let's say this playthrough, you have the said item. Let's say you have like some sacred wings or something, and you fly up to the top of this mountaintop and get him that sacred flower. And I'll make him say something cool, something like that, and he shows his gratitude or whatever.
Thanks, dude.
And yeah, appreciate it, dude. You got me a flower, dude. But let's say that I gave him that flower, and once you give him the flower, you still don't know what it does, right? You just give him that flower, and he's holding the flower in his hand. He has this big smile. He's a little pipsqueak. He has this huge smile on his face, and he's just like swaying back and forth. And if you keep talking to him, he's just gonna cool. That's all he's gonna say for the whole rest of the time that you give him a cool, and then you just leave. So at the very end of the game, there's a extra boss of New Game Plus. The original last boss, you beat the last boss, but it's a surprise. There's a hidden boss that appears, the true boss. Like, since New Game Plus, the true final boss, you can only get to the true final boss on your second playthrough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
like a super boss type of thing?
Yeah, but I won't even really call him a super boss. Kind of, I don't want it to be a 3-hour long fight. But let's say it's the true final boss. This is the alternate timeline that the sage was telling you about in the original playthrough, right? So you're fighting this boss 2.0, and they'll tell you that this boss was a boss of legend. You don't have the right tools to beat that boss. Like, you need a sacred sword. You need a sacred sword or whatever to pierce the boss's skin or something like that. And y'all are sitting here wondering how y'all gonna beat it. It's mid-fight, and it'll be a cutscene where you get kind of battered up a little bit, the character, and then out of nowhere, this beam of light comes down, and it's that pipsqueak. Except now he talks all heroic like this. I told you I'd have your back. He'd be like cursed or something. And since he got that flower, that flower allowed him to regain his true form. He was stuck on that island and he was cursed. And now at the very end of the game, it's cool because you meet Pipsqueak at the beginning of the game, very beginning, and you can't go back to him. And then Pipsqueak, I'll give him another name later, he appears at the very end of the game. And you and him team up together. You doing your moves, you stun the boss, but Pipsqueak, that's his name for now, he delivers the blow to pierce the super boss's skin. And once he weakens the super boss, cracks his armor, then you can go in with all your crazy berserker attacks and down the boss. And then he was like, with that being done, my debt is paid. I owe you. Be seeing you. Something like that. And he disappeared. And I feel like that'd be some cool ass side quest. Like, whoa, what the hell? But here's the thing.
I like the idea too of.
Oh, go ahead. What was you saying?
I was gonna say, I like the idea too of it being like the flower is just on a ledge and the player can tell, oh, if I could double jump, I could get to that flower.
Yeah.
And then a couple of chapters later, you get the ability to double jump, but you can't go back. And so the player, the whole game is just like, man, I wonder when I can go back and get that thing.
You can.
Like, now I have the ability to do it. When am I going to get back? and then they can't until the next playthrough. That's pretty legit. I like that idea.
Yeah, and another cool thing is let's say you just decide not to, even though you double jump. Let's say that you don't want to be bothered with it, or you just forget. Like you play through the game a second time, it'll still just be the original ending. The super boss won't appear. He'll only appear if you help Pip get that flower. And once Pip realizes you're in danger, it's so funny. I'm calling him Pip because he's a pipsqueak. But you once you let Pip get that flower, the super boss. It's something. Let's just say that flower tethers the boss. Once that flower is removed, because Pip is cursed. Once that flower is removed, that super boss awakens. Let's just say it's tethered to that. And throughout the course of the game, the boss is waking up because you removed that flower. But if you don't remove the flower, Pip stays cursed, and he's just he's just that little kid. But once you give him that flower, his true form comes back. And at the end, the boss wakes up, and then he comes and y'all fight the final boss together. And he exposes the boss's underside, like he cracks his armor and y'all beat him together. I feel like that would be a cool side quest, beginning and end, and people would remember. That'd be like a memorable mechanic. And I haven't seen something like that in a game. And like I said, it's funny because I thought that up while y'all were giving y'all's quests. So
and it goes into something that we don't really see a lot in games anymore, is like true replayability, where you're doing more than just a new game plus.
So all y'all developers out there that listen to our podcast and don't write comments, if I see somebody named Pip or Pop, or y'all try to change it, and instead of him going to grab a flower, if y'all got him grabbing a fork or a spoon, and then New Game Plus is a quest, I'm gonna be scratching my head. I'm saying, So at least pay me some type of homage if you're gonna use my idea. It's a simple request. But yeah,
credit is all we want.
Yeah, for sure. Because I know that was a beast idea.
Well, hell yeah. You said you've been playing God of War?
Yes, actually.
How's that going?
A couple episodes back, I remember BLJ said he played it, and I said I watched my brother play it, but I don't know. I have a buddy. He's at work. He plays it, and my brother wanted me to play it, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw, I'm a voice actor nut. I saw a clip of Thor's dialogue, and his voice actor is a man by the name of Ryan Hurst. I had to look him up. His voice, that little monologue that I heard him say to Kratos was so good. I was like, man, I gotta play the first game so I can know what's going on with the second game. So I was impressed with the writing of the game so much that it kind of drew me in to play God of War. And the answer to your question, it's not very far, but I played long enough to, spoilers if nobody's played the first God of War. It came out, I think, 2018. So you 5 years late? But I got to the part where his son slays the deer, and the big monster being or whatever takes the deer, and we down them. And then the stranger knocks on the house, and I had to engage in combat with him. And I defeated the stranger.
Scene, by the way.
Oh, it definitely was. It drew me in. Really cool scene with those two duking it out. After that, he decides to grab his things. It's time to go. That's where I am now. We're going on the journey. He didn't think his son was ready yet, but due to extenuating circumstances, he had to leave. Let's get out of here. So that's what's going on. And that's a checkpoint, and I haven't really picked it up. But so far, I'm enjoying it.
Good.
So you're still kind of at the beginning then?
Yes. I just got a taste of a boss fight by fighting the stranger.
Yeah, man.
What was that, BLJ?
No, I was just saying it's a very good game, man. I will say, I don't make it all about God of War, but one thing I hope that's improved in the newer one, and Toro, you're playing the game right now. Tell me if you have this experience, but the game, it has a close-up camera on Kratos. It's like a over-the-shoulder type camera while he's fighting and stuff like that. And in other God of War games, it was always like a kind of like a bird's eye view, aerial view of him. So you can run around and you can see his whole body. You can see all the enemies all at once. You know what I mean? So this new view that they have, you can't see behind you. So when you're fighting enemies and they're behind you, the only way you can know that you're about to get attacked is there's like this arrow that points towards like the enemy, and it'll start blinking once they're about to attack you. Me personally, while I was playing, that was just an annoying like design choice. Like I like the third person view, but I just feel like I just want them to figure out a way to make it easier to see all the enemies and not get hit by stuff you literally can't see. You know what I mean? Do
Like
you,
having the camera pulled further back.
maybe pull further back. Yeah. I think that'll fix it. Just have it pull further back. Because it don't get me wrong, all the stuff that they do in the game, like it looks amazing. So for it to be that close, like it looks really great. But if you're trying to play the game and beat all these enemies and you can't see them, and you only have to rely on this little arrow that points behind you, it gets annoying sometimes, But you, Toro, you're playing the game right now. Do you have that issue or no?
I haven't had the issue yet.
Oh, okay.
But what I was going to say is I'm still early into the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have a camera issue, I'll update you and let you know. But right now, I haven't had any issues. Mm-hmm. I'm a very defensive player by nature, so I'm constantly turning the camera around, especially when I have multiple enemies and I'm dodge rolling and stuff like that. So it hasn't been an inconvenience as of yet.
Mm.
Yeah, we all remember that Shadow Angela footage.
Oh, yeah. California rolls.
Yep.
What about you, Lambo? You were about to say something when I asked Toro.
Yeah, I was going to say that for me, from what I remember, there was a lot of times where I wouldn't even notice the indicator popping up.
Yeah.
Like I would notice it if it was coming from the sides, but specifically coming from behind, it felt like it got lost on the character model a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't really that big. It wasn't that big. It's kind of hard to see if you got 6 or 7 enemies coming at you from all angles.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. Like the game was
you're focused on what's coming at you in front of you. You're not really looking at the indicator.
Yeah, like overall, the game is. I love the game. I love all the God of Wars, and it's put together really well. That's just one thing that I just hope they fix in the new one. You know what I mean? And it's not even that big of a deal, but you know how it is in these games. Like, especially if there's like a level you've tried to finish like 8 or 9 times, and then you die because of an enemy you didn't see, and your life, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's annoying sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially playing on the higher difficulties where, 1 or 2 hits is all it takes to kill you.
Yep. I know the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
But with God of War, and you mentioned spoilers, Toro. So if you guys don't want spoilers for God of War Ragnarok, you better avoid the internet for about 2 weeks.
Oh, man. So somebody opened the floodgates already, huh? How did that happen?
Yeah. So somebody, and they haven't narrowed down who, but some retailer somewhere has already started selling copies of the game. And so people are, of course, playing it. And there's footage and pictures and all kinds of stuff that's already on the internet.
Dang. How do you guys feel about that when games come out like a week or 2 early than they're supposed to, but only to select people? Like, how do you feel about that? You get upset about it? Do you care? Do you not care?
So that is a great question. Like I said, I'm convinced that you be dreaming and these questions come to you in some type of vision. So let me explain to you. As I've gotten older, I've kind of accepted it, but especially that's a good fighting game question, because I think it is ridiculous that it's just like I said about SF6. Remember when I'm not taking a shot at SF6. I'm not taking a shot at some of these big name YouTubers, but it seemed like everybody that has a little bit of fighting game cred got a code. Like, I feel like that all of the streamers / YouTubers got a code instead of it being randomized. And it makes me feel like like I'm a plebe, a peasant. Like, oh, you didn't get it this time, you know.
Sit
And
down,
then
peasant. You don't get to play
yeah,
Street Fighter
hmm
6.
yeah. And when these heavyweight titles come out, you know, these blockbuster titles, you know, let's use God of War Ragnarok as a example. It's not fair that, you know, and it's going to happen. They can't stop it from happening. But it's not fair
Right.
that, and life isn't fair, but, you know, somebody will slip one out of the box or sell them, you know, days ahead. And apparently the crackdowns aren't that severe because it happens every year. Like there is
Mm-hmm.
no crazy fine to stop them from doing it. And being the fact that it's a video game, I'm not going to go on a crusade and go get my war horse and bring out my flag and, you know, march with fire behind me. It's not that big of a deal, but it is annoying, especially when they post spoilers on YouTube and they don't take the spoilers down and, you
Yeah.
know, they don't take them down immediately, and it's more of a flex. Like they know that the footage is going to get taken down, but they're like, "Hey, look what I have and you don't. Hey, look at this," you know? So it's like a double-edged sword because some game like Mortal Kombat, I don't flip out when fatalities are spoiled. It's kind of cool when they show you fatalities early, somebody that has the game. But at the same time, sometimes I think that fighting game participants, fighting game players, they have an unfair advantage because they get the game like way early. Like let's use SF6 for example, right? They got quite a bit of time with that game. Wasn't it like 3 days?
They still playing it
Right?
now,
They are? I didn't know they're still playing it now. How are they playing it now?
bro. I look, because I watch a lot of like replays of different fighting games and stuff. And I swear,
Yes.
man, a lot like I want to say like Sonic Fox channel. It's just a lot of channels like they're uploading replays, like new replays to this day. Like I was under the impression that the beta lasts 3 days, so they'll have some content for like the next week, maybe. But like there's still new videos coming out. I don't know if they played that many games and they're just releasing them slowly, but these videos that I'm watching, it'd be like 4 or 5 matches in one video, and they're like uploading them like every
Oh,
day, like every other day.
They're
I'm sure that's what
probably
they did, though.
yeah.
Actually, there was a some kind of hiccup in the system where I guess people could download the game like on their phones and it was playing it and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if
Hmm.
that's the case where people still like they kind of got a hacked version and they're still playing, but I'm still seeing replays like new stuff. Yeah.
I would not be surprised. But what I'm saying is they get all this time with the game. That's why it's more impressive. Let's take there's an underdog story. I don't know. Lambo, you might not know him. BLJ, you may know him. His name's Idom, and he was the Laura player.
Right.
Remember, he rose through the ranks
Oh,
with
yeah,
Laura.
yeah.
And they said, Laura, yeah. So imagine when Street Fighter V first dropped. He wasn't a well known player. He had to wait like everybody else. And all the
Mhm.
original OGs, they got, Street Fighter V early and stuff like that. It's more of an inspirational story when somebody that had to wait, like the rest of us, puts in the time and they win. But I don't want to sound like a whiny hypocrite because who knows? One day I could be a big YouTuber and they sending me review copies 2 weeks early and I get a head start. So it just comes with the territory.
Yeah.
That's my stance on it. But I can see how it can be mildly annoying. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
boomerang that question right back at you, BLJ. How do you feel about that?
It used to get on my nerves a lot, especially with the fighting games, because that's my favorite genre of gaming. So I think I think it goes all the way back to like when Street Fighter Cross Tekken was out. Like you just knew people had copies of the game a week early, 3, 4 days early. Even like I want to say games like I think like Red Dead Redemption. What's the other ones? Like Grand Theft Auto. Like people just get early copies. And I remember when I was, a little bit younger, I used to be like, oh, they get on my nerves, man. I want to play it too. But, now that I got different things going on in my life, like I'd be like, all right, I mean, I can wait the extra 4 days. Like I'm not in a rush. You know what I mean? There's still a small part of me that's like, I want to play it right now, but I don't get as upset as irritated as I used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not too bad, but it does suck when you're looking, at YouTube and you see people, oh man, this is cool. Look at these new combos. And I'm like, man, I want to play, I want to do some combos,
Yeah. Right.
So, but it's a little annoying, but I don't put too much, investment into it like I used to.
So you mentioned,
What
Toro, you
about
didn't
you?
like that they're not really trying to take down, or you don't like when the company doesn't try to really take down spoilers and limit people's exposure. Uh, in Santa Monica's defense, they have said they are going to do their best to take down what they can, but they understand that they can't catch everything. So they are at least trying to take down what they can
Oh yeah,
in
it's
this
all good. Like
situation,
I say,
anyway.
yeah, I'm definitely not about to be out there with my riot bat,
Yeah.
clinging it against the ground. I don't care that much.
And for me personally, like, I understand that it happens. Like, some retailer somewhere decides, oh, they're going to sell the game early. There's not really anything you can do about it. And I'm pretty good about dodging spoilers anyway. So it really doesn't bother me too much because there's not really anything I can do about it. And I'm probably not going to see too many spoilers, if any at all. Like, I remember when Spider-Man 3 came out, was it No Way Home? Came out, and there were a bunch of spoilers all over the place, and I avoided all of them and went in completely blind. So that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me too much, but I can definitely see why it would bother other people.
I was gonna say, you a beast. I don't know how you avoided spoilers, but yeah, you popped off because that mug was everywhere.
Hey,
Yeah.
quick question for you guys. How good are you guys at avoiding spoilers in games that you want to play? Is that an easy thing for you, or is it hard to do?
It's hard because I love YouTube. I got YouTube Premium. I'm always on YouTube, and it popped up. Like the
Yeah.
reason why I'm interested in God of War is I saw a spoiler. That's what I'm saying. I saw the dialogue between Kratos and Thor.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever. But they always find their way to me.
How about you,
I'm
Lambo?
usually pretty good about dodging spoilers.
Okay.
Like, I'd say, because I do catch some spoilers every now and then, but I'd say I can dodge about roughly 95% of them.
Okay. That's pretty good. I always thought that would be hard for me as well, but I actually showed a lot of patience. I told you guys I really enjoyed the Walking Dead, the Telltale series,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the last. What was it? Walking Dead, the fourth one. So there's season 3. So season 4. I forget why, but I didn't play season 3 or season 4 for a while, and for some reason I stopped playing them. But season 4 had came out, and I was like, oh man, the new season came out. Like, I need to play season 3 and then go all the way up to season 4. And for some reason, I don't know if I got busy with work or something, but like a year and a half went by, and I never saw anything for season 3 or 4 of the game until like I sat down for like a week or two and like played through all of them. And at the time when I played them, they were all like a year old, but I was able to, not get the spoilers. So it was a lot easier than I
Yeah.
thought. But I really thought like one day I was just gonna be scrolling through YouTube and just see like a thumbnail that
Mm-hmm.
says, "Oh no, the character dies." Oh no, like I never seen that. So
Yeah. That's usually how I catch some, most of the spoilers that I do end up seeing is just like I'll be scrolling through like Facebook or YouTube and see just a quick screenshot with some words on it and just, fuck, it's too late now.
yeah, yeah. But there's been some times where I've practiced some intense patience. I was,
Yeah.
I was surprised at myself.
I try to do that as much as I can, especially with story driven games.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, especially with the Telltale series, because that's just a big story that
Mm-hmm.
you tell. So
Yep.
the last thing I want
Like
to
these leaks for Street Fighter 6, I'm like, whatever. It doesn't really bother me to know because it's not really story related necessarily. But if they start spoiling story and plot points, then I'm gonna be like, whoa, chill out.
same here.
But what about you, Toro? You good
What
at
about
dodging the
what?
spoilers?
Nah, that's why I told him a while ago. I love YouTube, so
Oh
that's what I was
yeah.
telling you. Thor, I saw that, and that's what reeled me in.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah, that's
usually,
right.
if I open it up and I see it, and it's something that's super sensitive, something that I just want to be blown away by, I'll scroll past it or something. But
Yeah.
I'm like BLJ now. I feel like with age, I'm more mature about it. You know,
Hmm.
younger, me and BLJ actually shared the same emotions. Like, I can remember when Mortal Kombat X came out, you know, and I wasn't super mad, but, I want to see what's going on with Liu Kang and, why he's old and stuff. And turn out it was a illusion because that old skin was, what is it? It wasn't canon anyway. But I see all
Hmm.
these people playing with these characters, and this dude, I still remember he was a foreigner, might have been in Brazil, but he had the game super early, and he was brave enough to stream it on Twitch.
Mm.
And I'm sitting here like, golly, and people were hating in the comments. He had
Oh
like
yeah.
he had numbers as if he was a big name streamer already, like
Hmm.
100K viewers. And it was just like, I'm not disrespecting them, but a lesser known channel, didn't have a whole bunch of followers or whatever. So him having that huge spike in viewers was already probably a red flag, but they let him play the game for quite a bit, and they finally cut it off. And it was way ahead of schedule when he had it.
Mm.
So I don't know. It just make you feel some type of way to let you know where you stand in the social ladder. But now I'm just like, man, I just shrug my shoulders. I got so many games now that I haven't completed. I don't see me throwing a fit. You know, Ghost Tsushima, Ghost Tsushima 2 could be out, and some person could have it a whole month early, and I just shrug my shoulders. I don't care. I try not to learn too much about the game. So that's my stance on it.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of difficult these days now as a lot of trailers are showing spoilers.
I ain't really noticed too many trailers showing spoilers. I remember you talking about that before, but give me a trailer that you can remember. I'm not trying to put you on blast, but
So
give me a
the
trailer.
one that I remember, it was actually pretty recently. It was just a couple of years ago. Was the Devil May Cry 5 spoiler or trailer? Like the story makes a huge, obviously spoiler warning for the story of that game if you haven't played it yet, and if you haven't, I don't know what you're doing. Um, like they make a huge deal about hiding the identity of the main villain and not letting you know who it is. And then like one of the last trailers that they released showed who it was, which in the story of the game you don't actually like you don't find out for sure until like halfway through the game. But then in the trailer they just spoiled it right then and there.
Right.
Even though they make a huge deal of hiding the character's identity, like even calling them a different name to hide who they are. And which, I mean, granted, it's probably not the biggest spoiler. It's kind of obvious who it is. Like you could probably put it together, and they're just being like kind of tiptoeing around it, but not being extra secretive. So it's not really the biggest spoiler, but it is a spoiler, especially for people coming in with no previous experience with Devil May Cry.
Right. Yeah, it's a bummer when that happens.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I
Yeah.
don't know why they would do that, but I feel you on that.
And I didn't even know about that until after I played the game because I didn't watch any trailers past the first one because I was like, cool, I'm going to play the game. Don't need to watch any more trailers. I already know I'm going to buy it. Don't need to be sold on it. Don't want to know anything. But that's
They
just
let
how
you
I
down.
am. Yep.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing
But
wrong with that.
I know before we get too far into this, you had a new story you wanted to talk about, Toro?
A new story I wanted to talk about. You got to
Did I
cut
make
the
that
light
up?
on. I was gonna say I don't remember me
I
having
thought
a
you
story.
said you had something you wanted to talk about.
Lore Master's book is closed, from
Oh,
what I know.
maybe that was
Yeah,
another episode then.
yeah,
Another
it had to be
timeline.
another episode. Yeah, another timeline. Because as of now, I do not.
Hmm.
To our virtual chair attendees, this is more like a This is more like a chill podcast today, as you can see. It's more of us just catching up. We usually referencing this, referencing that. BLJ and I are flat broke, so we don't have the cash to or put in Lambo's hand to pull up those fancy images. So we kind of just riding the wave today, floating the lazy river. That's what we're doing, with our drinks in our hand, just catching up on things. That's what the meat and potatoes of this episode is, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
Well, I got something that I heard in the news that I thought was pretty funny and unexpected.
Okay, what you got?
So, and it's been a couple weeks since this dropped, but apparently someone has created a mod that you can download onto not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, that lets you order a pizza in real life through the game.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the way it works is the mod adds an NPC into the game, and in the game files, you can go and put your credit card information, your name, your address, all that fun jazz. And then when you go talk to this character, there's a dialogue option to order pizza. And if you select that option, it will just send that information to the Domino's website and order the pizza for you. Now, the downside is it's just a default order. You can't change it. It's just a 12-inch pizza, I think a pepperoni or something, with a side of garlic bread and a 20-ounce bottle of tea. But if you want to change that order and you know a little bit of basic coding, you can actually go into the mod files and change the order that's placed. But this way, you can order pizza without ever leaving your PC and without ever having to call or deal with Domino's.
I definitely want to give props to somebody that had the time to sit there and put that in a computer game where you could order pizza from your game.
A 15-year-old game at that.
Yeah, it's testing their limits. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which I'm sure now that it's been done, there's probably going to be a few people willing to volunteer to help expand that mod to where you can actually choose the options in game as well. Because that'd be really cool if you could just go in and be like, I want this pizza with these toppings and this drink, and I want a side of garlic bread to go with it, and just really customize your order all within the game. Bro, that'd be legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Even
I
better
could just
if you
use
could
my
pick different
phone and order
restaurants too.
pizza.
What's
Yeah.
up?
I said, or I could just use my phone and order pizza. But you know
Yeah,
me,
you could, but you're already
that's
playing the
grouchy
game.
man. That's grouchy man Toro taking the fun out of things. You know
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, old man Toro over there. These damn kids don't know how to pick up a phone and order a pizza anymore.
We won't go that far. But I hear
Back
you
in
on
my
that,
day.
though. But hats off to them. I don't know who did it, but that's really groundbreaking, at least to me. That's groundbreaking.
Yeah, that's different.
What if developers start putting stuff like this in future titles on their own?
What would they put in there?
Yeah, we'd have to wait and see.
Really, they could put in a lot of stuff. Like you've got DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that stuff now. I mean, as long as the restaurant accepts deliveries and the developer's doing it, here's what I'm thinking. All right, the developers say, hey, we want 2 or 3 restaurants. We're going to put it in our game to where our players can order food directly from the game for delivery. You give us, $50,000 each, and we'll put your restaurant in the game with the menu options. So it's a way to raise funding for the game, and we get the ability to order food directly from the game.
I mean, that is pretty smart. I mean, if it made sense for the restaurant, like money wise, like especially the game, could you imagine like a Grand Theft Auto? That was all right. I don't know what's the place? What Little Caesars? We're going to actually put a Little Caesars in the video game, and when the character walks into the store, they can order a pizza from Little Caesars, and then you order the actual pizza in real life to their home. Like that would be amazing marketing. That would be amazing exposure. Like, especially if you're like a little mom and pop shop and you just was so lucky enough to get this type of deal or something like that. Like that'd be amazing exposure. Like that might be like millionaire status overnight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're very likely to already have your credit card information on your console or your PC already, so you don't have to add any more information. They just take your information from, Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, or Steam or whatever. Bam, job's done.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
I'm gonna copyright this idea.
That'd be pretty sick.
Trademark.
Yeah, they already gonna take my pip idea. They gonna
we just full
get
of
yours
ideas.
back. Today we are.
Damn it! Now I want pizza. But yeah, that was it. I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah,
The future of gaming.
that's cool. Then. Well, yeah, I was gonna say, do y'all have any other crazy topics? We not in the party wagon today. We at the end of the lazy river. I know that the drop off is coming here soon. I just feel like this is a chill, relax.
One more thing before we go. One more thing. It's Halloween. Did you guys dress up at all?
Actually, man, I might have to break my piggy bank and give Lambo my last two quarters, but
I'll
put
I'm
up
in the
an image of
Halloween
me.
spirit. I'll do this one for free.
Oh man, boy, the day is saved. I went as a general of olden times, and I'm not even going to say here or here. I'll let Lambo put the picture up when he feels the need to put it up, but I'll give him this photo of me in costume, and we can put it up here real quick. But yeah, I went as a general. I had a nice time. I actually went to 2 parties. Great people. It was good times, and I knew that leading up to that party, the day leading up to that party, Saturday, was going to fly by. And then after the 2 parties I went to, I knew that Sunday was going to go by fast. And here I am back in the work week. So here we are. But it was a good time.
You mean you didn't dress up for work?
I did not. I took my ass to work and got through it. And now I'm back at home. And I'm about to power down and get ready to go back to work. But no, I did not dress up for work.
Gross.
Okay. Well, Lambonius, what about you? Did you dress up?
Man, I didn't do anything this year.
Man.
I barely even realized it was Halloween, honestly.
I see.
About the only thing that reminded me it was Halloween was went out to run an errand, and somebody had a really good like voodoo or witch doctor outfit, and like you could tell they spent time on like putting it together and doing the makeup. They probably spent at least 2 hours just putting it all together.
Yeah.
So like it was really well done, and that was the only costume I saw while I was out and about today.
Okay.
But for being the only one I saw, it was pretty good. So at least there was that.
That's good.
Yeah, I agree.
About you, BLJ, what'd you do?
Well, I just went as myself. Fun
The
fact,
best costume ever.
you know what I'm saying? Fun fact for the viewers. My birthday was yesterday, on the old 30th. So usually for my birthday, I don't do much. I just kind of chill. I go to work. I don't really, ask to have dinners or parties and nothing like that. But this year I decided to spice it up. So every day leading up to my birthday, I posted a different video online of me either doing some karaoke or me dancing, or I even had a moment where me and my niece had a little dance number together. You know what I mean?
I saw that one. That was a good video too.
Yeah, so I just wanted to change it up. It was a good time. So that's all I did. I just went as myself. And then my birthday is the day before Halloween, so I did all this leading up to Halloween. So very good time.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Definitely can't beat that. And it's good to hear when I don't knock people that don't celebrate their birthdays, but I don't know. I think I've talked about this before, but birthday is the most important day of your life, right? It's the day you were born. And I'm grateful for that day. And I always treat that day as a national holiday. You know, it's more than a national holiday. That's Toro Day, you know. So it's cool that you elaborated on having a great
National
week
Toro Day.
leading up to you. Yeah. You had a great week leading up to your birthday. Fun time.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Yep. But that was my
Well,
last
gents,
question.
I see.
You say
Oh,
what?
you said that was your one last question?
Oh yeah, that was my last question. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say I see the exit to the lazy river coming up, and I see that water slide I want to go jump on. So we're gonna have to wrap this up.
Oh, that's what's up. Go our separate ways for today.
Oh yeah.
So
we'll go get me
thank
some
you
pizza.
guys for I want to thank you guys again for tuning in and listening. It's been about an hour nearly. Y'all made it pass by extremely fast. I don't know. We'll see what next week topic holds. We'll go into some deep thought, but this particular style of podcast, I like to refer to it as a soft cap. You know, just chill vibes, and we talked about spoiler leaks and so on and so on.
Yeah.
That high, I'm still recovering from last episode when I was telling y'all about Are You Afraid of the Dark and regenerators and stuff. So I'm still recharging, my lore and all that other good stuff. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Like always, it's been an honor. And I'm going to give it to Lambo and BLJ.
Well, it's been a great time speaking about these topics, having these questions amongst my bros. It is actually Halloween night as we speak. And if you guys are watching this after Halloween, I hope you guys had a safe Halloween. And I hope you didn't get any of that nasty candy, no poison candy. I hope everything went well. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. How about you, Lambo?
Man, y'all both kind of hit all the points. This was a chill episode. It was nice to kind of just sit back and just kind of have a more chill conversation. And yeah, I hope everybody had a great Halloween. And make sure y'all subscribe, because we got a little something special coming down the line for you folks, I believe, next episode. So you definitely want to hit that subscribe button, Thomas.
And stay tuned in.
Oh, that boy got that name
man.
again, boy.
The name
Just to make
dropping.
sure that you are fully aware of when that special surprise shows up in your subscription feed. And while you're at it, go ahead and smash that like button too.
Depending on your definition of surprise. We don't want to disappoint you now. We're not from the Oprah, y'all, and you get a car, you get a car. We ain't doing that. But
No. It ain't gonna be taxes on a gift car kind of surprise. No, we ain't doing that. We got something better in mind. But yeah, with that being said, we'll see y'all next time.
There it is.
Yep.
We'll catch y'all next
Later.
time.
All right, let's go play some God of War.
Yes!
I'm with it.